Well, I said this a couple months ago. I already consider myself retired. I know I meme like subbing and all that, but I'm not playing the YouTube game like I used to do. I'm just doing it for fun.
It was clips and statements like the one just shown that began to give PewDiePie's audience and other YouTubers the idea that perhaps PewDiePie was no longer taking his YouTube journey as seriously as he once was.
PewDiePie right now shaking in his boots.
He's kind of just like not trying super hard. I mean, I still enjoy the videos, but they're, you know, like he's pretty checked out.
He also doesn't give a
Exactly.
He's coasting. He's
coasting.
Articles such as PewDiePie receives support as he takes break from streaming to deal with exhaustion, alongside the precedent of his wife quitting YouTube in combination with his recent 1-month hiatus, creates a question that should be incredibly interesting to investigate. Has PewDiePie lost the motivation for YouTube? While his attitude almost seems to suggest it, we could definitely be wrong. For example, perhaps he's made a deliberate shift in his personality and branding to give his content more of a relaxed feeling, and if that is the case, there are many comments to suggest that it might even be working. We're going to investigate the timeline of PewDiePie's motivation, the events which may have given him a boost in inspiration and drive, alongside the discussion of events which may have done the opposite, both of which to be interwoven with how his life has changed over the years so we can come to a logical and rational conclusion. PewDiePie began his channel in early 2010, and it'd be pretty safe to say that his initial motivation was running high. How can we be so sure? Well, it was a time when there really wasn't any incentive to start a channel besides passion, interest, and curiosity. YouTubers weren't starting channels in 2010 with the hopes of securing a massive monthly paycheck. They were doing it because there was some bizarre, unexplainable drive to be a part of this new up-and-coming platform.
I've been wanting to make videos for YouTube for so freaking long. I have really no idea where I got the idea from.
PewDiePie embodied this completely. He was enthusiastic and passionate about making the content in the early days of his channel, bolstered by a partnership with Machinima.
I am now a YouTube partner through Machinima, which is great news. It's fantastic.
And various public appearances.
I will be interviewed by a radio station called Nordastral Radio.
As a whole, PewDiePie was clearly enjoying the grind.
I've been growing a lot on YouTube lately, and it's great, of course. Thank you for 25,000 subscribers.
As mentioned, PewDiePie had passed 25,000 subscribers around a year and a half after first beginning his channel, which would have without a doubt been adding to his motivation to create content, as he could clearly see that there was a new audience waiting for his next upload. Additionally, at 25,000 subscribers, PewDiePie was at a low enough level in order to set himself some meaningful, achievable growth goals. 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, even 200,000 subscribers were all easily achievable, as long as he kept uploading videos for his ever-increasing audience.
100,000 subscribers, bros. Whatever you want to call it, I am proud of you, bros.
Assisting him in achieving these goals was also the wide range of games available to play at the time. Felix uploaded Crysis, Call of Duty, and Portal. However, it would be with a wide variety of horror and jump scare style games such as Amnesia that PewDiePie would experience unimaginable levels of growth. 6 months after hitting 100,000 subscribers, Felix was at 1 million, and 12 months after that, in July 2013, he was at 10 million, making him the second channel ever to complete the milestone after Smosh had hit 10 million 2 months beforehand. PewDiePie was clearly a goal setter, not only because he would have never made it to 10 million subscribers if he wasn't, but also because he discussed it in a Q&A at a later date.
Set goals for yourself. Every day I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then I can do whatever.
The obvious link to be found here is that there can be great pleasure derived from achieving these YouTube-related goals. There's little that's more motivating than seeing yourself progress in a difficult area. This is only speculation, but while PewDiePie always appeared relaxed and was almost always messing around and memeing on screen, his actions and work ethic seem to indicate that he was the kind of guy who liked the competitive aspect of YouTube. Now again, we could be wrong. Maybe he really was just a super relaxed guy who kind of accidentally walked into becoming the second creator ever to hit 10 million subscribers, but that would be basically impossible without some kind of underlying competitive drive. Now, it seems pretty obvious that PewDiePie isn't this ruthless conqueror who would wake up every morning with the single goal of crushing his competitors. However, it would probably be naive to say that he wasn't deriving at least a little bit of motivation by passing or beating these other incredibly large creators, such as Ray William Johnson, Smosh, and Nigahiga. However, there's another problem with that theory. It would imply that upon becoming the #1 most subscribed creator on YouTube, he'd slow down, stop uploading, or lose motivation, which isn't what happened. After overtaking Smosh to become the platform's most subscribed in August 2013, PewDiePie would go on to hit 20, 30, 40, then 50 million subscribers in 2016.
Part of me is like, you know, it's just a number. Really, all I care about is that you guys watch my videos, and That's what really matters. But at the same time, 50 million!
PewDiePie's celebration of 50 million subscribers is interesting for a few different reasons. Firstly, it's pretty good evidence for the previous point being that PewDiePie often remains composed and humble about the size of his channel, yet still clearly loves crushing milestones in the same way that almost every other YouTuber does. Secondly, his reaction and attitude at the time of achieving 50 million subscribers seems to indicate that he was still very driven to grow, despite being over 20 million subscribers in front of YouTube's second most subscribed, showing that his main motivation couldn't have been the simple desire to pass other large creators. So if what was keeping him going wasn't the desire to overtake other YouTubers, then what was it? Well, perhaps this image of being YouTube's most subscribed creator had become so deeply ingrained within Felix's identity that keeping such a position was a strong enough goal for him to carry on making new videos. Additionally, PewDiePie's environment and surroundings were optimized for the work. He was making videos every day alongside his girlfriend Marzia, who'd been making her own content, highlighted in this viral clip where PewDiePie can be heard recording his own video at the same time as Marzia.
We're gonna hear Felix in this video. I apologize about that.
Finally, PewDiePie would have without a doubt identified that if he was able to reach 50 million subscribers, 100 million was certainly possible, providing him with yet another milestone to strive toward, as long as another channel didn't get in the way. By late 2018, PewDiePie had held the title of YouTube's most subscribed channel for 5.5 years. However, a group by the name of T-Series was gaining on PewDiePie at an unbelievable rate. The group had gone from 15 million subscribers to 50 million in a year and a half, and were on track to overtake PewDiePie by October 2018. PewDiePie will lose his crown as YouTube's biggest star next week, thanks to India's obsession with Bollywood. Articles such as this one highlighted how close PewDiePie was to being dethroned, however, he wasn't going to go down without a fight. On the 6th of October 2018, PewDiePie would upload a diss track titled Bitch Lasagna, in which he would rap about why he didn't like T-Series, simultaneously claiming that he would figure out a way to stay on top. The video generated otherworldly levels of discussion in the community, prompting a video from Mr. Beast titled I Bought Every Billboard in My City for This, in which he would attempt to increase PewDiePie's subscriber count through public advertising.
T-Series is growing 4 times faster than PewDiePie, and if I don't do anything, PewDiePie won't be the #1 most subscribed to YouTuber in the world.
While the video was clearly a bit of a meme, the amount of publicity it provided to PewDiePie gave him a fighting chance against T-Series. Other creators like Logan Paul, KSI, and Dan TDM also got involved to do their part, and soon PewDiePie's daily subscriber count graph was looking like this. T-Series would ultimately go on to win the battle, after Felix ended the competition from his end.
I think it's time to end the subscribe to PewDiePie movement, or meme.
However, in the 6 months during which the meme had been active, PewDiePie went from 66 million to 94 million subscribers, equivalent to an average gain of around 4.5 million subscribers per month, or 150,000 subscribers per day. Sure, he'd lost the battle, but he was still in a substantially better position than before, and most notably only 6 million subscribers away from being the first ever YouTube personality to hit the whopping milestone of 100 million subscribers. In the 5 months that followed, PewDiePie seemed to be having the time of his life. He'd single-handedly revived YouTube's Minecraft genre with his unbelievably successful comeback, interwoven with meme review episodes hosted by notable celebrities such as Dr. Phil, all while he'd been planning his wedding and honeymoon with Marzia, which he would of course vlog and upload to his YouTube channel. 5 months after ending the subscribe to PewDiePie meme, the man himself would hit the biggest milestone ever achieved by a solo creator, 100 million subscribers.
Ba-da! PewDiePie, congratulations on passing 100 million subscribers.
PewDiePie was on top of the world. However, less than a year later, he would make an announcement that would both puzzle and shock his audience.
I've already retired. I decided a couple months ago. I'm doing YouTube in a more low pace. I'm sorry. That means I am not uploading as frequent as I am, but I just decided I'm retired. Yeah.
It's almost impossible to ignore the fact that PewDiePie's retirement had come about only a year after hitting the 100 million subscriber milestone. We mentioned earlier that PewDiePie was a very goal-focused individual, and it seems pretty obvious that part of this retirement and possible loss in motivation for YouTube had come about because, in terms of channel growth, it would have been incredibly difficult to figure out where to go from 100 million subs. At 100,000, it's reasonable to say that you want to get to a million. At a million, it's a bit crazier, but still understandable to say that you want to get to 10 million. At 10 million, getting to 100 million is ludicrous, but not impossible. However, at 100 million, where are you going to go? 1 billion subscribers? It's a pie high in the sky goal even for a rapidly expanding channel like T-Series, who, with current projections, might hit 1 billion subs in 2028, over 6 years from now. In that same Q&A where PewDiePie had announced his retirement, he was asked about his long-term personal goals, to which he responded music.
Do you have any long-terms or goals? Yeah, speaking of which, music.
Further supporting the fact that perhaps YouTube-related goals now felt unachievable or possibly even meaningless. In addition to this point, PewDiePie had also dropped back from daily uploading and began to incorporate rest days, which he would also be asked about in the Q&A, to which he seemed to imply that it was because he was no longer enjoying YouTube as much as he once was.
Are you enjoying YouTube more since you decided to take rest days instead of everyday uploads? I don't know if I particularly like YouTube more, but I like my life more. I enjoyed uploading every single day and working every single day because I was enjoying YouTube so much, but I realized it's just not a healthy way to live.
Another possible issue and motivational drain associated with being at the top was that he no longer had anyone meaningful to compete against. PewDiePie maintained the opinion that it wasn't his goal to crush his enemies, even going so far as to state that he didn't want his 100 million subscriber milestone to be the result of beating another channel.
I don't want hitting 100 million subscribers to be about beating another channel.
However, the reality was that so much of his growth had come about from competition associated with holding his crown of YouTube's most subscribed channel. So after losing the title to T-Series, he might have been left with a feeling of, oh well, I'm not going to beat T-Series, so I might as well take my foot off the gas for a bit and relax now that I have the opportunity. This way of thinking is also without a doubt the reason for his decision to take January off every year for the last 3 years, beginning in 2020, just 3 months after hitting 100 million subscribers.
I broke my 10-year streak of daily uploads to go on a 1-month break.
However, another thing that's without a doubt influenced PewDiePie's choice to take a month off at the beginning of every year is the change in his life circumstances. PewDiePie's goals and priorities have likely shifted dramatically since he first began the channel as a 20-year-old college student.
I wish he was the person he was 5 years ago. Okay, people change. Let me grow up. Like what?
He's married now, which raises the question about a potential family, and within this potential family, Marzia herself is no longer creating videos. She quit back in 2018 to start 2 brands called My Accents and Suki Market, both of which have seen what appears to be a decent level of success. The second brand, Suki Market, states on its Instagram to have been created and designed by Felix and Marzia, perhaps showing PewDiePie that he'd have no problem finding success in a business outside of YouTube, lowering his motivation to stay on the platform as a video creator. However, the more interesting thing to investigate is whether or not PewDiePie's retirement has actually been a negative thing. Because if you look at the comment section in any video during which PewDiePie has mentioned his retirement, there's nothing but overwhelming support. Wanting to retire is truly understandable. Felix worked hard. I think all of us will terribly miss him once he's retired. I don't watch all his videos, but the ones I watch, I truly enjoy. I also love his presence on the platform. It'll be a bleak day once he no longer uploads. It kills me to hear him say I'm already retired, and knowing Pewds might stop in a couple of years, but it makes me so happy to be there and be part of the journey he had for more than a decade. Felix, when you retire permanently, just know that you made all of our childhoods the best we could have asked for. Actually, I feel like since he's retired, his content has been better. He seems more genuine, almost like he's doing it for fun. This last comment is super important and accurate, especially the part about being more genuine. There's been a clear shift on the PewDiePie channel to include more videos that have been made because you can tell Felix actually wants to make them. Book reviews, the discussion of life's difficulties, calling out influencers for steroid usage. Over the long run, Felix choosing to discuss the things that he's genuinely passionate about may actually result in an overall audience increase, even if they get fewer views in the short term.
I'd like to make more serious videos. I've been doing a lot of just reacting stuff lately. But even though people say they like them, they don't generally do well. So if it was all I did, it wouldn't really work.
However, this clip could also be applied to the comments stating that they enjoy his content more since he's decided to retire. Just because people are putting it in the comments doesn't necessarily mean that it reflects in the data. While PewDiePie's monthly viewership remains incredibly high, it's been slowly declining over the last couple of months, perhaps the price PewDiePie is willing to pay for a more relaxed lifestyle. Felix should, however, remain cautious about the cost of such a move, not only from a financial perspective, which he doesn't seem too concerned about, but rather from a meaning and fulfillment perspective. A lot of similarities can be found when comparing PewDiePie's current attitude with the outlook on life held by Notch at the time of his retirement. Both very successful at a young age, each with the money problem completely and utterly solved.
Bruh, I never have to work again. I don't have to be here, you understand?
However, most notably, both having the goal of alleviating stress and pressure after an extended period in the public eye, which in the case of Notch, took him out of the game completely after taking his own comfortability to the extreme. PewDiePie seems adamant that he won't stop uploading videos until he's dead.
When do you see yourself no longer uploading? I guess when I'm dead.
So we can be pretty sure that he'll be just fine. However, it's important to remember that fantasy of being truly retired without any responsibility by the age of 30 should remain just that, a fantasy, because when played out in reality, it almost always goes terribly.